Welcome to the Nonprofit Exchange Podcast. Stories by leaders for leaders to help you raise the bar on your own excellence, to release the potential inside of you. Now, here's today's podcast. This is Hugh Ballou, founder and president of Center Vision Leadership Foundation, where leaders create synergy with a powerful, compelling vision. Our audience is nonprofit leaders and clergy and their board members who are business people. Now, I said they're business people. We're running a business. It's a for-purpose business with nonprofit. So putting on our business hat. So one of the best inspiring business leaders I know is Steve Gaston from Glasgow, Scotland. Steve, welcome to the Nonprofit Exchange. Please give people a little sense of who you are and why you do the work that you're doing.
Thank you very much, Hugh, and it's great to be here today, especially with your community as well. And for myself, I've been very fortunate in life. You know, I've had many businesses. I retired young at 30, got bored at 32. And from that point, my mission is always to help other business people to achieve more. Help them do the things that I did, get them access to the people who helped influence myself, that made a difference. And all the businesses I've either created, sold, right up to now, I'm 55 now, have all had that sort of mission and its purpose. It's how we can help people get better and get more. And I love helping people achieve their dreams, achieve their goals. And that's where we are now in the sort of the programs and the businesses that I have now, is helping people in business, whether it's commercial, entrepreneurial, or as you said, nonprofit, tap into how they can get to that next level and how they can really achieve what they really want to do, if they want to do it.
Your background says dream big. Explain that, would you?
Yeah, dream big. You know, so many business or people in general have massive dreams of where they would love to be. But a lot of people, when they say, especially when they set their goals, they set it at a level where it's so easy that it's the next stage for them. Where I like to take people that I work with me, or I coach, or I help, or try to influence, is to say, if you could dream something that's really out there, so stratospherically out of the norm, to dream big. To dream where if something had happened to you, yourself in life or in business, that would be a life-changing moment for you, what would that dream be? But the main purpose of that is when you understand that you can help share that dream with everybody else in your community, everyone else in your connections, and everyone you come across in life, because you never know who might be able to help you achieve that dream.
You know, that's one of the things that holds us back. We start with the word nonprofit, and it puts us into a scarcity mindset. So going into this abundance thinking is really important. You know, God gave us abundance in the world, and we tend to put it down, but it's there, and we are stewards of other people's money. And so we tend to dumb it down instead of saying, okay, let's magnify it. Let's think big. Let's impact. What we're doing is impacting people's lives. Now, your business, one of your many businesses, but we're going to talk today about one of them at least. It's the masterclass sessions. So I'm going to let people. It's not any masterclass, it's the masterclass. So that would be your URL, the masterclass sessions.com. So when people go there, what will they find?
The masterclasssessions.com really sort of goes back to when in my previous career I was doing sort of a lot of stuff globally, and when I was in different countries, I would actually go out into the countries. I wanted to see what the people were like, and I went to many countries where quite a lot of the business owners and people in those local communities, although they thought they were really doing really well, when you actually look at the poverty in quite a lot of countries and places, that they could really do so much more if they could get access to people that usually the blue chip companies keep hidden. They keep them hidden. They're in that sort of network, and they really go from one blue chip company to another blue chip company, and they train their directors, their leaders, their main people how to get better. But that means that the normal business owner, entrepreneur, etc., like non-profit committee, board, or whatever, they don't get access to these people because these people cost a lot of money. Some of these people could be charging £20,000 a half a day or $20,000 for a half-day session to come in and work with these blue chip people and their leaders. So what I did with masterclass sessions is I want to change that. I want to bring those industry experts and I want to bring them to the local community of business owners globally that are priced that everyone can afford. So for example, I've had, I don't want to name too many of the names that I've actually came to deliver, but I've got, well, for example, you came along, spoke last month for us about leadership, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I've had Joe Foster, the founder of Reebok, come and talk about how he took Reebok from a business that was 0 to 4 billion. So when you're learning from people who have got experience, actual real experience, they've not learned from books. There are many, many people out there say they're industry experts and they've never actually achieved the experience. They've never actually developed a business. These people walk the walk and talk the talk. They come and deliver golden nuggets to our community. So you can take those golden nuggets straight away and implement them into your business, implement them into your nonprofit organization, implement them into your new startup. So you're learning from people who have already made the mistakes and they're steering you on a correct path. And the masterclass sessions is all about getting those golden nuggets. And we have a live session every month, except for January. I'm on holiday in January's. We have a session every single month, February through to December, when we've got an industry expert coming talk live about something. It could be about marketing, it could be about leadership, it could be about sales, it could be about life in general, it could be health and wellness. It's something that's going to influence and help you in your business acumen to make you become better. And you can do it all at the masterclass sessions.
And you can do it with some of the leaders in your nonprofit. It's a tax exempt for purpose business. It's not a for-profit business. However, installing some really sound business principles helps us be better stewards of the monies that we're really custodians of the money. So thinking differently, moving our brain into a different paradigm. What is it we need to do differently? Because Steve, sometimes we're kind of in a rut and we get burned out because we're trying to do too much saving money, when in fact we could accelerate the revenue if we really thought differently. So you have these sessions, and when this airs live, one will be just passed, but there's one every time. So people every month except January, and in the East Coast United States, it's 8 a.m. when you have them. It's 1 p.m. in the UK. It's we should have the closed captions on here. I think it's Winston Churchill said that Great Britain and America are two countries separated by a common language. So, we have some different, and even the subset of American English is Southern English. We sort of have our own dialect, but I get it. So when you have these experts, you talked about the leader of Reebok. That's pretty high. So how do you find people like that to learn from and then to share with others? And what's the criteria for selecting these guests?
Yeah, great question. And I've been as I said, I've been very fortunate. I've been influenced and I've had many mentors throughout the years, and quite a lot of the people we've had coming to speak over. You get access to the recordings as a member now, going back to October 20. Everything is recorded now from all our experts, and I'd probably say about 25% of the people we've had already on masterclass sessions have been mentors to myself throughout the years, from my youth right the way through. And that's one way that I've approached them and said, you've really helped me in my businesses. Could you now come and help other people share your great golden nuggets and your great advice? And then there's other people that I've maybe followed, read books about. Maybe someone like yourself has said, Steve, have you ever heard of this person? That they did a session when I was XYZ. You really need to go and see them. You need to go and listen to them. And I'll go and visit them, especially if they're online. I'll go and experience what they're delivering. And if I feel that their message and their topics are really on par for what what business community really require, I will then reach out to them and say, I'd love for you to have a conversation. I'd love to just talk about how you could help influence other business owners globally through the masterclass sessions. And through that conversation and through that sort of little interview process, I get the feel of, are they going to be able to deliver what our people in our community require? And I get them on board. I'm really quite blazed, and I'll just reach out to people and say, I'd love to have a chat with you. But I do a little bit of research first on them. They have to walk the walk and talk the talk. They have to be doing something that's really making a difference. The speakers I've got for the next couple of months are, I've got one who's a national business person who's got global customers. Then I've got one who's co-written massive books globally that have been bestsellers globally that I've got coming. So these are all people that, again, they make a difference.
There's so much wisdom. The British conductor composer Elphon Williams has said that, is known to have said, music did not reveal all of its secrets to just one person. You could change the word music to leadership, business, yes. So there's a lot of wisdom in that, and you learn something. You're number 357 of my interviews here. And every single one of those interviews, I've learned something from an expert like you. So there's a lot of wisdom, and the more you learn, the more you're aware there is other things on the horizon that you didn't even know about. Exactly. And so you there's a membership community, there's a membership, the masterclass sessions. It's very reasonable, and you get access to the masterclasses. Is there more that you get access to with a membership?
Yes, there is. Thank you. One of the extras I talk about, you need to work hard, you need to play hard, and you need to rest hard in business, or if you're involved in any form of being involved in business. So the work hard part, you should be doing. The play hard part, you should be doing, but the rest hard. And the rest hard is where we come in extra with it, because you should, as a business owner, like you said, we should be learning something every day. We should be learning every day. There should be something we learn. I read every day. I watch podcasts. I do a whole range of things. But one of the extra things that we brought into the masterclass session was the rest hard. Anyone that does become a member of the masterclass sessions, I gift them a holiday voucher. It's a 4-star TripAdvisor apartment voucher that they can use in any of 30 countries globally, up to the value of, I think it's £1,500, which is about $1,800. And that's my gift to the members, because if they're working hard, they're learning hard, they're playing hard, they should rest. Every business owner or someone's holding non-profit, if you're on a board, it's intense, you're doing stuff that's really, really important. You need to take the break. If you don't, you're going to burn out. So as part of the membership, we give this voucher that you can use. And every time you renew, every year, I give you another voucher. So I'm giving you a holiday every single year. You just need to pay the flights and the taxes, the little bits that's involved in that. And I also plant a tree. I plant a tree for every single member because it's part of our corporate responsibility to do something for our planet. So for every member that joins us and renews, I plant a tree for them. We've got a plantation that we help support in Africa where we plant a tree for them.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Paying it forward, because trees live a long time, and they eat up a lot of the CO2. That's what they need, and they give off oxygen. It's like, oh yeah, that's a great plan. So thank you for being sensitive to that. So I've spoken at many, many conferences, and people come and take notes. Then they come back to another one and they ask the same questions they asked before. So there's some people that take notes and put them away. Mm-hmm. So what do people say who have attended your sessions? What difference has it made in their lives? And have they taken away tangible tactics they can implement?
Yeah. Every single masterclass session, feedback from our attendees is that my goodness, I didn't know how easy it was to do that thing. There's always one golden nugget that one of our industry experts is delivering that's so easy to implement that they do it either as soon as they're finished, they've put it into their processes, or they've got it the following day, they've put it into their business strategy. And that's one of the things that makes a difference between masterclass session is for all levels of business, from new starts to multinationals, because the multinationals have staff. They have staff that need to learn. And half the time they're not educating their staff properly. So it means that multinationals can actually send their staff along if need be to learn those golden nuggets to help them do things easier. But it's the simplicity, like from your session last month, there was 2 parts in your session that I thought, oh, I love that. I wrote them down, I put asterisks next to them. Guess what? The next day I was speaking to my team about them.
Love it.
That's the difference in masterclass sessions. You might be taking notes, but one thing our community are all about is saying, what can we action? And I always do a call to action, and you heard me saying the call to action. What are you going to do today with the information that Hugh gave us this session? What are you going to implement tomorrow or today or by next week? And it's all about that call to action and the accountability our members have with each other as well.
I want to point out to people who are listening or watching this that it's not just presenting. You know, there is a presenter, but there's dialogue, there's interaction, and like you said, you challenge people. You know, what did you learn, and what will you do differently? And actually, there were half dozen people that made appointments to talk to me, and had some really good follow-up questions. So that so you saying what you just said made my day, because all of us who are leaders are primarily influencers. And if we influence people to do something, step up their game, and actually we're always working on ourselves, but you highlighted something really important here. Do we invest in our staff and volunteers and board members in nonprofits? So having someone come with you instead of you being the only interpreter, and people that bring groups, everybody hears a different piece, and then they come home and they pool their ideas and say, okay, we've built a strategy because we attended together. So that's just a great idea. So we don't, as leaders, invest enough in our employees, our staff.
One of our members has 10 people in their business attending. And as you said, and what they do the following week, they have a meeting based on what did you learn in the masterclass sessions last week? What could we do to make our life easier and better through the advice and the challenges that were raised during that masterclass session? And they have that as part of their business strategy every single month. Have that one meeting with the team coming together. So as you said, they bring the certain parts that they thought was important to them, and they bring it together as a team.
I was on a group yesterday, and one of the business leaders on there said he had multiple businesses in his career. And every January he'd sell his business, and then he'd say, I'm going to buy it back. And he'd ask employees, should I buy it back? Is it worth it? What should we need to do better? That's pretty bold, very transparent, being very vulnerable. And most of us are afraid to ask because we might hear something we don't want to hear, but this makes it more important. What do you say?
Oh, exactly. You know, it's learning from, I wouldn't say learning from failure, but when you've got other people who are especially inside something, and you can go to the outside and look within and then say, what do we really need to do a positive change? Because sometimes you don't realize you're on a negative spiral because you're too in it. Sometimes you're taking yourself out and then you're trusting other people to advise you, and they're saying, well, we could maybe do this a little bit better and a little bit of this. Sometimes there's one thing my father said to me when I was very young. He says, he always said, I'm not very smart, but if I give you 1,000 things, if I say 1,000 things to you, one thing might be the game changer for you. And I'd rather offer you the 1,000 bits of advice so you get that one bit of advice that could make a difference. Yeah,
you've inspired lots of thoughts today. You know, time flies by when you're with Steve Gaston. This is just like amazing. So there'll be a transcription of this in the where you go to the Nonprofit Exchange, another THE nonprofitexchange.org is where you'll find this interview and all the others. And you can subscribe there to whatever platform that you want and get it on your smartphone as a podcast. You can also watch it, watch the replay on that page. So Steve, I want to talk about our community a minute and then come back and then let's do a summary. What do you want people to do as a result, or what's a challenge that you have for people? So Center Vision has a community, and you can find it at nonprofitcommunity.org, nonprofitcommunity.org. That's a free portal. You can sign in there. I'll approve you later. And then you can network with nonprofit leaders around the globe. We have people from 6 countries in there. We're building it out. And then there's another level. Once you're in there and you see value and you want to get more value, there's an influencer level. So you can email me, say, I'm ready to apply for that influencer level. So we have all kinds of, this show will be in there along with dozens of workshops. We do workshops every month. We're doing one this week in America about leadership. Nothing happens without leadership. And the whole point is reframing our thinking, realizing we're in a for-purpose business and getting outside of our normal process so we can learn from people like Steve Gaston. So Steve, you're invited to join nonprofitcommunity.org, and we're going to send people to the masterclasssessions.com. That will be in the show notes. People can click on that and they can go and sign up. And there's just a wealth of stuff, very different from what we have in the Center Vision community, but not conflicting. It is complementary, and it's an additional, like you're opening a door to a new room of knowledge with a whole knowledge vault library of resources. So you've inspired me today, Steve Gaston. What do you want to leave people with today?
There's one thing when I'm sitting with clients and we say, do you want to be in the next 1%? People should be improving daily by 1%. Most businesses that make money, or most non-profit organizations, they say, what can we do to make ourselves better? Sometimes it's not that big change, it's that 1% change. If you feel that you want to be moving in that 1%, or do you know someone that's striving to be better, steer them to the masterclass sessions. First of all, steer them to you, Hugh, first, because Hugh might be able to get you a golden ticket if you know Hugh first, to come and experience the masterclass sessions, but you need to speak to Hugh first for that. When you experience the masterclass sessions, you will want to be part of the community, because once you see what you can do and how you want to achieve more and how easy it is to do it and how easy it is you can dream big, you will want to be part of the masterclass sessions. We've got members in 23 countries globally already. So it's a great community to be within, but it's also a great community to network and build your relationships with as well. As Hugh said, it's not just about the content, there's also the community level of it as well, of being around and surround yourself with people with similar mindsets. So if you want yourself as a business owner, or your team or your staff to be in that sort of mindset frame, get them along to the masterclass sessions so we can help them improve, and so we can help them develop, we can inspire them, can help you do profit, and also let them have a rest every now and again as well.
You can tell this man's passionate about the networking, and the mastermind is where you pool your thoughts with other people's thoughts, because nobody knows it all. Steve Gaston, thank you for being my guest today on the Nonprofit Exchange.
Thanks very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for watching the Nonprofit Exchange.